Welcome to Beyond Film School, where I teach you all about the film industry. I'm Amber, and in this video, we are talking about how the writers and the actors strike is affecting those who work in film. For the people who work in film, for one thing, they're broke, they're also depressed, and they are feeling a little lost. The WGA, the writers, have been on strike since May 2nd. Work was really slow once they went on strike, but production has been steadily decreasing since fall of last year. Then with the actors, SAG-AFTA going on strike since July 13th, the little bit of scripted work that was left quickly evaporated. It's like poof, gone. Poof. Poof. Then there were these waivers that SAG was gonna give to truly independent films, and I say that because it's kind of complicated, because then they were like, okay, so if you're truly independent, but if it was written by a WGA member, then we won't support those productions. It kind of went back and forth, but ultimately they gave waivers to independent films that are not attached to any of the studios that are in the AMPTP. Some people have been unemployed since the actors went on strike since July 13th. Okay, yeah, so about a month, no big deal. Some have been without work since May, a little bit more tight, a little bit more uncomfortable with 3.5 months of being unemployed. The select few that have been able to work till May or even till July, that's not speaking for the massive amount of crew that have been out of work since January, and some even further back till October of last year. The fact is that everyone, and I do mean everyone, was expecting and preparing for a strike, at least with the WGA, the writers. Studios, production companies, writers, agents, everyone. Scripts were getting rushed to get finished, then the writers were rushing their agents to close some deals, and then some productions weren't even greenlit. Needless to say, it definitely was a mess. And as anticipated, the writers did indeed go on strike. Everyone expected it, but probably just not for this long. As for the filming of this video, the strike has been going on for 110 days, surpassing the 2007-2008 writers' strike. People are definitely struggling financially. Everyone likes to bring up saving, that rainy day fund, having that 6 months of emergency funds. Well, we are way past that 6-month mark for a lot of people who've been out of work since fall of last year. Some people are definitely living off unemployment, which if you are living beneath your means, you can survive. Some people got those side hustles. I'm talking like Uber, Lyft, different things, streams of income that they already had put in place. Side businesses, they work online, affiliate marketing. There's a lot of different things that people can do for their side hustles. Then there are those who've kind of transitioned more into the independent realm, doing more commercials, music videos, student films, hell, wedding, corporate interviews. There's a lot of different things that are not part of the scripted TV and film world that people have tapped into. Some people are just straight out getting entirely different jobs outside of film and just taking those jobs, waiting it out until productions come back. And then there are those people who are just leaving the industry altogether, which is sad when I really think about it, but they don't want to deal with the unstable nature of film and the industry as a whole, which is totally understandable. And when you think about next year, when IATSE's contract comes into negotiations,
oh no.
People are already talking about them striking. So all in all, every time a contract is up every 3 years, it comes up every couple of years with another contract, it's a potential for another strike, and I get it. People are like, screw this. I just want to work with no gaps of time where I'm not going to be working because some other union is on strike in the industry. Not only are everyone's finances at play here, but also everyone's mental health as well. There are people out there where filmmaking and working on set is their whole life. Their identity is completely wrapped up in filmmaking. Now, I'm not here to say that there's anything wrong with that, but it is dangerous for your mind. You know how they say, like, diversify your income? You definitely have to do the same thing for your mind and your brain.
My brain is like oatmeal.
Film crew work 60, 70, 80 hours a week. Take that away and they have no idea what to do with themselves. They're bored, depressed, they feel like they're worthless, and they feel like they're not good enough. When it was just the writer's strike happening, there were a handful of shows shooting, and I literally mean like a handful in each film market, like Chicago, Atlanta, New York, and LA. And that's compared to 80, 70, 80, 90 shows in those markets. I had many conversations very, very deep conversations with people who really internalized the fact that they were not hired on those last standing shows. They started to question if they were good enough, if they were good enough at their job, and even if people liked them enough. I really don't think there's a correlation between, okay, so if you're the best at the job, then you were granted a spot on one of the last standing shows that were still in production. I don't think there's a direct correlation between that, because I know that there are definitely some people who they aren't the best ADs or they're not the best producers, but they just happen to know certain people. Fact of the matter is that it really was based on luck and who people knew. It wasn't about whether you were the best at the job. It was a really big punch for those workaholics, those ones that like to work nonstop, take job after job after job, gig after gig, no rest in between each job, and they just work nonstop. Day in and day out, even on the weekends, and then boom, nothing. It definitely was a huge wake-up call, and people had to start asking themselves, like, who am I without film? What do I do when I'm not working in film? What am I going to do with all this time on my hands? When you think you know yourself, and then you have to all of a sudden ask yourself, wait, who am I? Who am I again? What is my personality? What do I do? What do I enjoy? Because now people have all this time where they're like, wait a minute, you've been so consumed with working, you don't know what you enjoy. And that is very, very difficult. And this is what some of the people who have talked to me about it, they've said, like, what do I do? What do I actually like to do on my free time? Because they've never had any free time before. So this is like a whole new world to them. Now, as humans, we need to socialize, whether you like it or not. I know my introverts out there or people who are socially awkward are like, screw socializing. But people who work in film get used to the socialization that happens on film sets. And what happened with people who are workaholics and working nonstop in film, most of their friends are people who are also film crew and people who work in film. So all their friends that they're used to seeing every day, they don't see them anymore. So they're like, they miss their friends. They miss their friends and they're getting really bored.
So boring.
Now, when I'm out and about and people ask me how I'm doing with the strike and, oh, you must be really bored, I am a firm believer that boredom is definitely a mindset. How are you going to utilize this time? I am doing a lot with this time. I am utilizing this time as best as I can. I am focusing on the things that I have in my life. I am focusing on the things that I have at my disposal that I can use and utilize and enjoy. I know that there are others that welcome this break. They're like, you know what? I actually don't feel that bad that this thing is happening right now because I have not gone on vacation. I have not spent any time with myself, my family, my spouse, my kids, or whatever the case may be, because after the pandemic happened and we got out of lockdown and went back into production, they took job after job after job and they became workaholics. So average person who was working on set didn't work so crazily, but then after the pandemic happened, we're like, we don't know when the jobs are gonna come back. Being able to be on set, even though we had to wear crazy masks and shields and all the things and all the protocols that we had to adhere to on set, we still went to work and we were very, very happy to be on set. And I think from 2021 to 2023, I worked nonstop. And so did many others. The main problem is that the people who work in film, the main folks who are really, really struggling is that their lives are so wrapped up in film. When you take that away, they have no lives outside of film or working on set. You must. You have to do something in your spare time when you have it, on the weekends, on your days off that you are not on set. You have to do something else. Now, if you are a grip and you're an aspiring writer, make sure you're writing on the weekends. If you're an AD and you love to exercise or go swimming, then go swimming on the weekends. Whatever it is, do something else that isn't your day-to-day job that you're doing on set. Whether it's reading, running, traveling, journaling, kayaking, swimming, golfing, knitting, crocheting, I don't know, anything. Do something other than working on set or thinking about working on set or working in film. Do something other than vegging out on your couch and watching the very thing that you spend all week making. Like, stop watching Netflix. I implore you to go outside, like walk around the block for 20 minutes. I mean, here's the thing. I have gotten to the habit during this time of I have to post on social media beyond film school, the Instagram, the Facebook, the TikTok, all the things, YouTube shorts and all that stuff. I have to do that. So instead of me sitting on the couch and like posting to my socials and LinkedIn or whatever, like I go out and while I'm walking around the block for however long it takes me to post to all these socials, sometimes it's like 45 minutes. If you're scrolling on social media, you might as well just walk while doing it. I feel like you could actually lose some weight too by doing this too. So if you're gonna scroll or whatever, just go outside and do it. Walk around for a little bit, get some sun, get some exercise. This is a very tough time for everyone that is in production. I'm talking like from development to post-production and even marketing and distribution. It is all tough for the whole stream, the whole system of like conception to it coming to your screen. It is very, very tough for everyone that is involved, even for those businesses that are serving or working with crew members, and even the local economies that production shoot in all over the US and the world now. I just want you to know that you are not alone. We are all in the same boat. It is very unfortunate that we're in this situation, but also it is a fight that I think has to happen. We are in a pivotal moment where these things have to be corrected right now in the film industry and how people are getting paid and what is going to be allowed in the future. It is not that someone doesn't like you. It isn't because you are not good at your job or that you're not good enough. You are not alone in this situation. We are in this together, and I know it's tough. Take this time to learn something new, maybe get a new job outside of the film industry. We don't know how long this is gonna last, because right now the AMPTP and WGA, the studios and the writers are talking currently. We don't know how long those talks are gonna happen. And then after those talks, the actors have to go and talk to them as well. So we're dealing with two different unions that are gonna be talking at a different time. We don't know how long this is gonna last. Take this time to learn a new skill, challenge yourself, set new goals, whatever it is, learn something new and challenge yourself. And also, go to a networking event. There's so many things happening right now that there are certain groups online. Go to Eventbrite, go to your Facebook groups, and there are networking events where film people are getting together to just talk about things and do things together. You will definitely be surprised on what you can accomplish. We will definitely be back on set soon enough, I promise you. And when we're back on set, set your boundaries. Take vacations, enjoy your days off. Make sure to set boundaries for yourself so when we get back into the swing of things, you are not perpetuating that horrible cycle of just being your life being film. Like, you have to make sure you do other things that you enjoy outside of filmmaking. Spend your days off doing something you love. And for those that are just starting out in film, I don't want you to fret, don't worry. We will get you on set soon. We'll get you on your first set soon enough. There will be work. There will be work. It is coming. Do not worry. Use this time to network, direct message some people, ask to go for coffee or lunch with certain people in the industry, because right now a lot of people have free time and they will take a meeting, they will take a Zoom call, and you can pick their brain. Being able to pick someone's brains while you know no one is working, this is the perfect opportunity to go out and start talking to the people that you admire and that you want to become one day. And if you want a video to learn more about networking, I have this video right here for you. Use this time to network, expand your circle, expand your knowledge, and meet people. Go out and meet people. Network as much as you can. And while you're at it, why not make like your own short film? If you're just starting out, make your own short film on the weekend with a couple of friends with a camera, just figure it out and just make a movie.